Most of us live two distinct lives. There is the life we actually live, the daily routine of commutes and chores, and the unlived life within us. This unlived life is the novel you haven't written, the business you haven't started, or the health regimen you abandoned after a week. We can see the person we were meant to be, but we experience a physical weight when we try to reach for it. Crossing the gap between who we are and what we can accomplish feels like wading through deep water. That weight is a self-generated repelling force. You are pushed back by an invisible internal physics specifically designed to stop you from moving forward. Our failure to start is rarely a character flaw or simple laziness. It is the result of a toxic energy field that actively blocks our work. The author Stephen Pressfield calls this force resistance. Resistance follows a predictable rule. It only opposes movement from a lower, comfortable sphere toward a higher, evolved state. It gives you a free pass for a lateral move, like a generic office job, but viciously attacks an upward move, like writing a symphony. This force has no conscience. It functions as an engine of destruction with one object: to kill your true potential. Because resistance would be easy to fight if it showed its face, it shapeshifts into everyday behaviors to trick us. Its most common symptom is procrastination. By promising to delay the work until tomorrow rather than canceling it today, resistance provides us with a plausible rationalization for doing nothing. It also manifests as self-dramatization. We manufacture personal soap operas and seek out trouble to avoid the quiet, difficult act of sitting down to work. Even support can be a trap. We often use workshops, therapy, and endless preparation as socially acceptable excuses to delay the actual start of a project. Procrastination and drama are deceptive strategies deployed by resistance to keep you paralyzed. Pressfield spent years running from his work before hitting rock bottom in a New York apartment. He was making $20 a night driving a cab and yielding to resistance every single evening. One night, he forced himself to sit at his typewriter for 2 hours. He produced absolute trash, but for the first time in years, he sat down and did the work. That session revealed the antidote. He called the psychological shift turning pro. Amateurs wait for a flash of inspiration and over-identify with their art. Professionals treat their calling like a blue-collar day job. They show up, they labor, and they clock out. This professional mindset is best captured by a famous anecdote regarding the novelist Somerset Maugham. When asked if he wrote on a schedule or only when struck by inspiration, Maugham replied, "I write only when inspiration strikes. Fortunately, it strikes every morning at 9 o'clock sharp." The professional understands that the muse favors working stiffs. Inspiration only arrives after you put in the mundane physical labor of showing up. Turning pro changes how you interact with fear. Amateurs believe they must first conquer or heal their fear before they can begin. The professional knows that fear never goes away. Experienced performers still feel a physical sickness before they step out on stage. They simply force themselves forward anyway. Resistance uses fear to signal what we should avoid. But like a magnetized needle, resistance always points to true north. This gives us a rule of thumb. The more terrified you are of a calling, the more certain it is vital to your soul. Fear is not a roadblock. It is a highly calibrated compass pointing directly toward your unlived life. The professional mindset in action. During the 2001 Masters, at the top of Tiger Woods' backswing, a camera shutter clicked in the gallery. An amateur might have reacted with rage, blaming the fan and using the distraction as an excuse to miss the shot. Resistance loves that kind of drama. Instead, Woods stepped back and reset his emotions. He refused to take the interruption personally, stepped back to the ball, and hit it 310 yards down the middle. Woods maintained sovereignty over the moment. He refused to let an external distraction become an internal excuse to fail. The war against resistance is fought anew every morning, but the exact moment you sit down and do your work, you win the battle for today.